should we be scared of reaching AGI? Humanity's road to the future has AGI along the path. With AGI, we could hypothetically automate a majority of our workload so that we can spend time doing things we enjoy. But with super intelligent models come many concerns: massive unemployment, absurd monopolies, or the AI rebelling against humanity. Are these concerns warranted, or are we being too hopeful of our capabilities and what we can achieve with AI? Artificial General Intelligence, or AGI, is basically an AI that has the cognitive and reasoning abilities of a human being. This AI would have common sense and be able to learn and perform tasks much like a person would, except the speed at which it could do so would be much faster. So if you have an AI as smart as a human being performing tasks at lightning speed for you, who's to say they're even going to listen to you? Would their superb reasoning abilities cause them to rebel against us or act in malicious ways? And how would we know if the AI would even solve the task in the same manner its user intended? However, such speculation might be premature. Let's see if we're even close to reaching AGI. In March of 2023, many technology leaders and scientists warned us about the upcoming doom of AI in an open letter. This letter had more than 1,100 signatures and even included Tesla and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk, along with Apple's co-founder Steve Wozniak. In this letter, they petitioned to downscale the rate at which generative AI platforms are being upgraded, saying that if we don't put a 6-month pause on these advancements to step back and evaluate what we're doing, we might be putting our own civilization in jeopardy. The letter also talked about how chatbots pose a threat to politics. They could ruin democracy by flooding social media and spreading false information. Another concern they expressed was the loss of all jobs if AI took over. The letter proposed that civic leaders, not the people behind the technology, should take the lead and make critical decisions on what models should and shouldn't be developed. Along with that solution, they suggested the idea that policymakers and AI developers should work side by side to properly manage and control the rapid innovation of AI. For instance, an AI regulatory authority could oversee the recent developments of AI and track their progress. They also emphasized the need for watermarking to allow people to easily distinguish between human and AI-generated content. This is definitely a valid concern, as the art industry is being hurt by the influx of AI-generated art today. The letter is very serious about the future of AI, saying that AI is reaching the speeds of human beings when it comes to general tasks. We may end up in a future where non-human intelligent systems outnumber us and make us completely obsolete. The essence of the letter is that decisions with such huge implications shouldn't be made by unelected leaders in technology. At the same time, the UK government published a white paper stating that general-purpose AI regulations would be quite relaxed. They want to avoid stern and restrictive policies that could restrain creativity and advancement. They opted to rely on already existing laws to regulate AI. But not every government is on board with AI. In April of 2023, Italy was the first nation to outright ban the development of ChatGPT. But they weren't concerned with the AI reaching superhuman levels of intelligence. The issues they had with ChatGPT were violations of user privacy. User data and payment information were being leaked. Furthermore, they were investigating whether or not ChatGPT even complied with the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation. Governments and civic leaders have their understandable concerns with AI in the current day. The vice president of Gartner Research, Aviva Litan, agrees with the warnings of the letter, and she further mentions the importance of verifying whether or not the information LLMs give you is authentic. And that's why it's essential for us to give you authentic and factual information. Aviva Litan is also very concerned about OpenAI's advancements. GPT 4.5 is expected to come out sometime late in 2023, and then just 6 more months after that, we'll get GPT-5. To her, OpenAI is developing their model at breakneck speeds, and there's nothing stopping them. Some expect that GPT-5 will be so advanced that it'll be a prime example of artificial general intelligence, where its intelligence could be raised exponentially over time. But achieving AGI in about a year seems like a very optimistic prediction. A study published on July 5th, 2023, used economic modeling techniques to estimate when AGI would arrive. The earliest possible year they landed was 2028. This is their best case scenario. But the more likely prediction was between the years 2032 and 2048. So if this prediction is accurate, we're not that far away from AGI. But which AI would it be? People are saying that ChatGPT is going to be the AI that achieves AGI, but there's a bit of skepticism surrounding that in the tech community. Some argue that large language models or LLMs like ChatGPT are not the pathway to AGI, and there are a few good reasons why that's true. In the current day, AI is missing a few things that it needs to achieve AGI. The first of which is online non-greedy planning. Basically, current day LLMs are greedy planners. What this means is that they don't explore all the alternatives available and instead rely on quick and immediate information to construct a plan. They do this to cut down on computing costs, as analyzing all alternatives would demand too much processing power. An LLM could generate text that looks like a plan, like if you asked it for steps on how to do the dishes. However, they lack the proper mechanisms to make efficient and effective plans. They are not native planners and can't form plans without some help. This is because they're feed-forward networks. They don't have a mechanism to go back and evaluate alternatives or backtrack. The plan they make is entirely on paper. They can't account for real-world conditions and environmental constraints that arise as the plan is being executed. The next thing that current-day LLMs are missing are world models. A world model is the AI's ability to imagine itself in an environment and be able to reasonably predict what would happen if it performed an action in that environment without actually interacting with it at all. It's similar to how a human would think about the consequences of their own actions, like being able to anticipate how a friend would react if you gave them bad news, or how your car would handle if you drove it on a dangerous road. LLMs somewhat have world models, but they're not that great. If you were to prompt ChatGPT with "Sally gave John the book," who has the book now? It'll give an accurate response by saying that John has the book. But if you ask who had the book first, it'll struggle to give you an answer. This isn't always the case, depending on how you word it. But the fact that it is sometimes the case means there's work to be done. ChatGPT can also play chess, but it struggles to remember where the pieces are on the chessboard. At first, it'll stick to the rules, but then it'll start making illegal moves. And the reason why it even made those legal moves in the start is because those were popular moves recorded on the internet. It merely mimics what's been done before and starts to fall apart when there's not enough information on the internet about the specific match it finds itself in. In order to improve the potency of AI, it needs more training. But the current day training methods we know of now are too time-consuming and resource-intensive. We can perform reinforcement learning with human feedback, but as the name suggests, a human being would be needed for this, which would obviously slow down the process. We can do reinforcement learning with AI, but the AI feedback model itself is trained using human data, which is, again, another bottleneck to the process. Overall, it's unlikely that we're going to have a huge leap from where we are now to achieving a super AI. There is still a lot more work to do until we get there, but it doesn't hurt to plan ahead and keep a close eye on advancements. Approaching AI developments with caution may slow it down by a minuscule amount, but it is worth it for the safety of our species. Let us know what you think of AGI. Is it close or far away?